Have you ever stopped to think about how your words affect your life? Or even more important, how do the words you say affect who you are? It may seem like a trivial topic, but the truth is that the way we speak is closely linked to our inner control. Have you ever wondered how you can tame the urge to say whatever comes to mind without thinking? What if the secret lay in something much deeper than just self-control? This video is for you who want to discover how Stoicism, this ancient philosophy, can teach you the art of controlling your words and therefore controlling your life. We often speak without thinking, right? Throughout our lives, we tend to act impulsively so that words come out without control and we soon regret them. But what is said is much more than a simple sound or writing. It is a projection of our thinking, our character, and often our despair. In today's video, you will learn the art of controlling what you say, not with effort, but with wisdom. Come with us to understand how Stoicism, through its ancient lessons, can transform not only your words, but your mind. Stay with us, because at the end of this video, you will no longer be the same. Chapter 1. Stoicism and the power of words. There is something peculiar about the words we use. They are not just sounds that escape. Our mouths, they form a reflection, a projection of our internal state. Each sentence, each chosen word is a window into our mind, a piece of a puzzle much bigger than we imagine. And this is precisely what Stoicism warns us about. We have the power to control what comes out of our mouths, and by doing so, we can control our lives. This profound lesson is taught by great masters of Stoic philosophy, such as Epictetus, who firmly believes that our inner peace depends much more on what we think than on what actually happens around us. Imagine yourself in an everyday situation, perhaps in a trivial conversation or an unexpected encounter. The moment someone says something that bothers you, your first reaction may be an outburst, the impulse to return the offense with a cutting word. But what if, instead of reacting impetuously, you took a deep breath and thought for a second? You would realize that what is at stake is not just the words you speak, but rather the way you choose to react to them. Epictetus already told us that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinion about them. And what is an opinion if not a form of expression, a word or idea that we choose to have? If we have control over our opinion, then we also have control over what will be said. Stoicism, far from being a philosophy of silence and lack of expression, teaches us the art of choosing our words wisely, of acting with reason, not emotion. This does not mean suppressing what we feel or denying our human nature, but rather understanding the right moment to express what we think in a clear and considered way. In that moment of anger, instead of getting lost in the storm of words and feelings, the Stoic seeks balance and thus transforms what could be a conflict into an opportunity for growth. The idea of controlling words as an extension of mind control is part of the daily life of a true Stoic practitioner. Being able to silence unnecessary words, those that only fuel discord, is a skill that brings immense peace. And as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you are about to get angry with someone, think about how many times you have acted in a similar way. This reflection is powerful. It puts us in perspective, reminds us that before we judge others or react, we must look inside and analyze our own flaws. Therefore, what Stoicism offers us is not a formula to suppress our voice, but a way to make it more effective and wise. Every word we speak has a weight, a consequence. And if we can learn to control our mind, we can then choose the right words at the right time, creating not only harmony around us, but also an internal harmony that allows us to live with more serenity. It's like a subtle dance, where each movement is calculated, thought out, but also fluid. The art of speaking is an art of living. And it is through this understanding that by mastering our words, we also master the direction of our life. Chapter 2, Seneca's Temperance and the Art of Speech. Amid the whirlwind of thoughts, ideas, and emotions that accompany us every day, Stoicism offers us a break. It teaches us the art of not only thinking clearly, but also speaking with discernment. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, reflects on how moderation or temperance is the key to achieving tranquility. For him, wisdom lies not only in what we do, but in the way we moderate ourselves, even in the words we choose to utter. Think for a moment, how often in heated discussions and conversations, words come out of our mouths without any filter, just because we want to assert our position, our superiority, or simply because impulse dominates us. Seneca tells us that this lack of control is not only a lack of wisdom, but also a lack of self-respect. He challenges us to reflect, "It is better to be a wise man who keeps silent than a fool who talks endlessly." It is not about remaining silent out of fear or submission, but rather the understanding that not all words need to be said, and that often silence speaks more than any hasty speech. Temperance, therefore, is the virtue that moderates our response to provocations, our words during moments of anger, and even the excessive praise we give in moments of euphoria. But how to apply this moderation in everyday life? Imagine you're in a meeting with friends or co-workers, and an uncomfortable conversation starts to take shape. Everyone around you seems to speak without thinking, offering opinions and criticisms that, in a moment of weakness, you might also express. Now, imagine that instead of letting yourself be carried away by the flow of words, you take a breath and think, what is the value of this discussion? Is this really worth using my energy and words for? A Stoic's response, of course, would be reflective silence or a thoughtful word, an intervention that brings clarity but without aggression. Seneca was a master at understanding that instead of sinking into emotional storms, we should seek calm. He teaches us that moderation is not about hiding our feelings, but rather about acknowledging them and then making wiser choices. In such a noisy and tumultuous world, where words are often used to attack or convince, the true skill lies in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, and in both situations, act with temperance. When we speak with temperance, our communication becomes more effective. We not only seek to be heard, but to be understood. And this is not achieved through haste, impetuous emotion, or insistence, but through the wisdom of choosing the words that really need to be said. What Seneca teaches us is that true strength lies in knowing how to moderate our desires, our emotions, and yes, our words. When we master this art, we are able to navigate the world with more serenity, more understanding, and certainly with more respect for ourselves and others. And as we do this, we get closer and closer to true wisdom. Chapter 3. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and inner control. What does it mean to control our words? Some may think it's just a conscious effort to suppress what's on the tip of your tongue. But as Marcus Aurelius teaches us, true wisdom resides in something deeper, something that is in control not only of words, but also of the thoughts and intentions that support them. The Roman philosopher-emperor offers us a glimpse of how it is possible to live in harmony with the most challenging situations and, at the same time, maintain calm control over our responses, whether in words or attitudes. His reflection leads us to question, what are we really trying to communicate when we speak? And most importantly, who are we when we speak? Imagine for a moment faced with a situation that tests you. You find yourself involved in a heated conversation. Someone says something that hurts your pride, and almost instinctively, the ready response appears in your mind. It's the word of defense, that scathing response that momentarily calms your indignation. However, something inside you holds back. The word doesn't come out. And therein lies the big lesson. Control is not in suppressing the word, but in choosing which word to say and when to say it. Marcus Aurelius, when reflecting on human nature, reminds us that true strength is not the ability to destroy with words, but rather the ability to act with reason and calm, even when the winds of adversity assail us. He speaks clearly about the power of the mind and how we are, to a large extent, responsible for our reactions. We can't control what others say or do, but we can control what we say in response. "It is foolish to rebel against what we cannot change," wrote Marco Aurelio. When we take this to the field of speech, the foolishness becomes even more evident. Why react impulsively with words that don't reflect what we really want to express? Hasty words not only fail to convey our intentions clearly, they also take us away from the serenity we should cultivate. The philosopher encourages us to look at our words as an opportunity to create a positive reaction rather than reacting impulsively. In a moment of tension, instead of swallowing our anger and shouting, we should breathe and think, what is the value of my reaction now? What am I gaining by saying this? Marco Aurelio makes the central point. Our control over words is closely linked to our control over emotions. The Stoic master does not see words as a simple communication tool, but as a reflection of who we choose to be. In a deeper sense, he makes us understand that every word spoken is a choice of who we are becoming. The art of speaking at its core lies in how we manage what we feel and how we choose to project those feelings. Control is not in blocking or repressing, but in acting with purpose, choosing the words that lead us to virtue, instead of being slaves to impetuous words that escape without thinking. We can be the masters of our expression, always guided by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who teaches us to be logical and rational. In the midst of chaos, by taking control of our words, we are able to not only maintain control over the situation, but also achieve an inner peace that is incomparable. Controlling what we say is, therefore, a reflection of the control we have over our own emotions, our own life. And that, as Marco Aurelio shows us, is true freedom. Chapter 4. Zeno of Citium and the Balance of Words. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, had a deeply rational view of life and human nature. He teaches us that living in accordance with reason and nature is the key to achieving true inner peace. But how can we apply this concept when it comes to our words? How can we integrate the balance of reason when speaking? Zeno's answer lies in the concept of living in harmony with the same tranquility with which nature operates, without excesses, without regrets. When we think about the words we choose, it's easy to imagine that we often let ourselves be dominated by the emotions of the moment, like a current that carries us along. However, Zeno reminds us that true wisdom is not in the immediate reaction, but in the ability to maintain balance in the face of adversity. And that includes, of course, the way we express ourselves. When something bothers us, our first tendency is to react, saying what comes to mind, without thinking about the consequences. However, if we look at natural behavior, a river that follows its course without rushing, without effort, we will realize that true strength lies in calm, in moderation. Zeno believed that reason should guide our actions and thoughts, and consequently our words. He did not advocate absolute silence or subordination, but rather the understanding that words must be used in a balanced way, so that they contribute to collective and personal well-being. Sometimes silence is more eloquent than an entire speech, and this understanding is fundamental for anyone seeking to live according to reason. Imagine that in a moment of frustration, you have the option of exploding with sharp words or remaining calm and thinking before you speak. Zeno, when observing nature, would probably say that calm and moderation are the most rational responses. Nature does not rush, nor does it demand haste from human beings. It runs its course in silent harmony, and that same harmony should be reflected in our words. When we choose to speak in a balanced way, without excesses, we are living in accordance with reason, which in turn brings us a peace that no impetuous words could offer. Living in accordance with nature also means understanding when to act and when to withdraw. It's not about repressing speech, but about understanding that words should be used as a tool to build, not to destroy. Deep down, Zeno's wisdom lies in realizing that balance is the key to true freedom. When we speak with moderation and reason, we are not only controlling our words, but also our very nature, aligning ourselves with the serenity that Stoic philosophy so cherishes. Thus, By integrating Zeno's philosophy into our lives, we learn to value what we say, measuring each word, knowing the right moment to express and the right moment to remain silent. Balance is what guides us, and with it, we achieve not only harmony with the outside world, but also the peace that resides within. As now that we've explored how Stoicism can be applied to controlling what we say, it's time to reflect. Philosophy is not just about grand speeches or far-flung teachings. It's about small daily actions, like being careful with the words that come out of our mouths. When you master your words, you also begin to master your life. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more lessons on Stoicism and how it can transform your life. Like, share and activate the bell so you don't miss any content. Oh, and don't forget to check out our other videos on how to achieve balance and inner peace. See you in the next video. FAQs. What is Stoicism and how can it help me control what I say? Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches you to control your emotions and act wisely. By applying its principles, you learn to choose your words more carefully and avoid impulsive reactions. Who are the main Stoic philosophers, and how do their teachings influence communication? Philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius taught that we must control our reactions and use reason when expressing ourselves, helping to cultivate more constructive and balanced dialogues. How can temperance help me improve my communication? Temperance teaches us to moderate our words, avoiding excesses. By practicing it, we can maintain control of our emotions and choose more thoughtful words. Why is silence so important in Stoicism? Silence is often a powerful tool. Knowing when to shut up is just as important as knowing what to say. Stoicism teaches us to reflect before acting. Can I practice Stoicism even in the most challenging everyday situations? For sure. Stoicism is a practical philosophy that can be applied at any time in life, whether in everyday conversations or in more challenging situations. YouTube video description: how to control what you say. Stoicism. If you've ever found yourself in a situation where words slipped out without meaning to, or reacted impulsively in a moment of anger, this video is for you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have the power to control our words, and when we can do that, we also control our destiny. In today's video, we'll explore how great Stoic thinkers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Zeno of Citium show us the path to true wisdom, control over what we say, and how it affects our lives and relationships. Let's learn how Stoicism helps us cultivate temperance, serenity, wisdom, and resilience, reflecting on how the discipline of words can bring more balance and harmony to our daily lives. Reflections of great philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. They will guide us to understand the true importance of our verbal expressions and how they shape our destiny. What you will learn in this video: how to apply the teachings of Stoicism in control of your words and emotions, practical examples of how temperance can transform your communication, the relationship between Stoic wisdom and the power of silence, the impact of words on mental health and in personal relationships, how to find serenity in the chaos of everyday life, SEO optimized tags, philosophy, Stoicism, philosophy, temperance, what is Stoicism, wisdom, serenity, life lesson, personal growth, happiness, resilience, reflection, Stoic philosophy, health, Epictetus, mental personal development, Stoic meditation, Seneca, meditate, Stoicism, discipline, Marcus Aurelius. This video goes beyond just understanding Stoicism. It will show you how you can incorporate these powerful ideas into your life and the way you communicate. If you search personal growth and more emotional control, this content is for you. Don't forget to enjoy, to share with whom you believe needs to hear these words. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for more videos on philosophy, personal development, and Stoic meditation. Join us on this journey to wisdom and inner balance. Sign up now and start transforming your life through words and Stoic philosophy. Philosophy, Stoicism, temperance, wisdom, mental health, resilience, personal growth, meditation, Seneca, Epictetus, Marco Aurelio, reflection, Stoic meditation, personal development, harmony, happiness,